it's Robby Spencer here, and I'm glad to be on television here because, ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be on television. And, you've seen me probably on the Pick and Port shows and on the old mill shows from Damascus playing music. I wanted to do something a little bit different, not have just all music in it because I do a lot of other different stuff. And we're going to try to do some shows here for you that's pretty entertaining, some stuff I'd like to see on television that you just don't see every day. And this, if we get it, going up real good, we may make a regular thing out of it and get some sponsors and all that. But right now, this first show today, we're going to be catching some bait out of the creek. We're here in Phillips, Virginia, and we'll be fishing the old-timey way, like poor people used to do. Now, I'm not making fun of poor people, don't get me wrong, because I'm one of you. I don't have much money. As a matter of fact, I spent every last cent I had on getting this camera so I could be on television for you. And we've thought of all different kinds of names for this show, and we just settled on the Robby Spencer Show. I know it's not that creative, but I decided we'd focus all our creative energy into putting on a show instead of just thinking up a name for it. So I hope you enjoy this first episode of the Robby Spencer Show. Almost ready to start showing you how to catch some bait out of the creek the old-timey way with a seine net. But before we do that, I figured I better explain to everybody out there how come I've got a microphone tied around my neck. We can't do a whole lot of this action stuff and hold a microphone at the same time. And like I told you just a minute ago, we spent all the money we had buying this camera. So we got one of these little old cheap microphones from Walmart. And you've heard of people being on a shoestring budget. Well, we are on a shoestring budget. As a matter of fact, we've got the shoestring on the microphone that's tied around my neck. So anyway, that's the reason I've got a microphone tied around my neck. Now we're going to start off with, I'll show you a seine net right here. And all it is basically a net, just like any other net you might find. And it's got some weights on the bottom, that's to keep this edge in the water, and got some floats on this edge to keep this edge from staying out of the water. And on each side it's got some tobacco sticks, and we've got some rope tied around it. You can get a seine net like this just about anywhere, except you have to supply your own tobacco sticks. They don't sell them at Kmart and Walmart, places like that, but you can get the net there, and it's not that expensive. I forget how much I paid, but it probably won't break you up. And then we've got the bait box here. This is a special bait box. It's made just for putting bait in it, but you don't have to have one. You can have a Cool Whip container or a butter carton or anything like that. And now that I've showed you the equipment we're going to use to catch some bait, let's go catch some bait. Now we're here in the creek. We've got the seine net in the water with the weights down. We got a tobacco stick in each hand, and the way we catch this bait is, but let me tell you right now, we probably won't catch any bait here because it's not a good place. We need some where the water's flowing a little bit swifter, but we're kind of afraid about bringing the camera into the water since we paid so much money for it. But anyway, let me show you this. My papa always wanted me to wear hip waders whenever I was in the water, and I never could stand to wear it. He was always afraid that I'd get bit by a snake or copperhead. And to tell you the truth, I've never known anybody that's died from getting bit by a copperhead. I've never even known anybody get bit by a copperhead. But if for some strange reason we get bit by a copperhead today, we'll do the next show from the emergency room. But anyway, this is the way you do it. You get in the water where it's flowing nice and swift, and then you start kicking up some rocks, just like this. And you kick them all up, and crawdads and all kinds of other stuff. We'll be actually fishing with Grampus today. I'll show you what they look like here in just a little bit. But then you get in there and you kick the rocks up, and then all the little creatures living under them rocks get caught up in the water, and they get caught in the seine net. And that's pretty much the way we do that right there. How to catch some grampus out there. We're taking the microphone off. I'm going to walk out in the middle of the creek and try to catch some, and then bring it back in here and show you what it's like. Now let's see what we've caught. All laid out, we're going to see what we've caught. You can see right here, we got a pretty big crawdad. We don't really fish with these, so we just usually throw them back. When I was a kid, we'd rather had a bunch of crawdads than toys because they're so fun to play with. There you go, back in the water. There's a little tiny crawdad. You can pick them up in your hand and they won't hurt you. There you go, back in the water. Now what we really are trying to catch, like I told you, I don't know what they're really called. We've always called them grampus. I think they're some kind of a fly larva. But there's one right there. It's not very big. I don't know if you can see it on the net there. I tried to put it in my hand. Hopefully it won't bite me. Those are mean looking creatures. They got pinchers on the front of them. And they're kind of like big caterpillars. They're the best things to fish with. See, I got one there. Thought I had 2 or 3 more. But anyway, this is pretty much the way it goes right here. We'll try to catch some more bait. If we catch anything else interesting, we'll let you know. Now here we move down the creek a little bit. We're taking the microphone off, so the sound might not be as good. But anyway, we're going to give you some shots of me actually in there trying to get some bait. So right now I'm going to jump in the creek. Got another big crawdad. That's not what I was hoping for. But we'll still try to catch some more stuff here and show you about it in just a little bit. Got right here about one of the biggest crawdads I've ever seen. It's got claws on it. They're real big. And it keeps trying to bite me right here. And I tell you, if this was any bit bigger, they wouldn't call it a crawdad anymore. They'd call it a lobster. Anyway, this is what a great big crawdad looks like. We've caught several grampus now, but we're going to try to catch a few more so we don't have to stop right in the middle of fishing and catch some more. And so I'll just make about 1 or 2 more tries on this catching grampus. Well, you know, it happens to the best of us sometimes. Well, right here I am again now, and I've got my clothes changed. You can tell I got the other ones a little bit wet, and then I got kind of tired of being in the creek catching bait, so we decided to film the rest of this first show. We'll do a nature show and talk about some of the stuff in nature, because there's a lot of nature out here in the country. And how many more minutes we got left on this show? About 20 more minutes. We'll try to get some good interesting nature on it. I'm standing here in front of a patch of weeds. I'm not exactly sure what kind they are. They may be some kind of oats or wheat or something. I don't know. They may just be plain weeds. But anyway, it looks kind of like, I never actually have seen the place in the Bible where they made them baskets out of bulrushes and put Moses in, but I'd say it looked probably kind of like this right here. And that's about all I know to say about these weeds right here. Okay, now we're here in front of some kind of flowers. They're yellow flowers. I'm not exactly sure the name of them. I don't think they're actually buttercups or anything like that, but a bunch of bugs have been eating on those, so that most of the leaves are gone. And right down here we got a purple flower, and it's nice looking. It's probably just a weed. If I thought hard enough, I might think up the name of it, but I don't really want to think that hard. And then right here, I know this flower, that's clover, and that's pink clover. Some of you probably got a lot of white clover in your yard, and I'm not sure if you find a four-leaf clover, which is better to find, a pink one or a white one. But anyway, that right there is a clover. Alright, now we're out here in the middle of a field. Like I told you before at the beginning of the program, we're in Phillips, Virginia, and it's kind of a special place because it's where my papa was raised up. My papa was Charles Barker, and if you can zoom around and get a good picture of the house there, and somebody in blazer going by. Hey, anyway, that house there belonged to my papa's sister, Audie, and her and her husband Tom lived there for many years, and they lived right there at the foot of the mountain, and this is their property that we're on. We've been catching fish and stuff out of the creek here for a lot of years. And this is Robby Spencer here on the Nature Special. If you want to, get your pencils ready, because I'll be giving you some information here in just a minute that you might want to write down. Okay, we're here, we're ready to start fishing. I decided that if we did a whole show on looking at flowers and stuff like that y'all probably get bored. So we're going to start off fishing here. I got my grampus on the hook there. I'm just going to pitch it in the water. That went all the way on the other side of the creek. But that's okay, because we'll kind of try to get it under that rock there. Maybe a fish will get a hold of it. Now, if any of you have an idea for a show, something you'd like to see on TV, or if you'd like to write me, you can write me at P.O. Box 741, Bluff City, Tennessee 37618. That's Post Office Box 741, Bluff City, Tennessee 37618. And I'm getting a bite right there. And I'm telling you what's the truth. That's the way to do it right there. That's a nice red eye. That's my first cast in the water too. I don't think you could beat that. We didn't rig this up for television or nothing. Look right there. Now that's a red eye right there. They call them that because they got red eyes. They're kind of bass. And you see I'm holding it kind of special. He's got these fins on the top. If you get one of them stuck in you, you'll know it. So you got to kind of grab it in the mouth right there, and we'll take the hook out real careful. And see right there, there's a nice fish there. I'd say he weighs about, well, I'm not good at judging weight like that, but he's a nice fish. There's another one. I told you I was going to show you how to catch some fish. Alright, now, here we are fishing. We just caught our second fish. And I want to tell you a little bit about the hat I've got on. It's a VW Boys hat. And I always fish in my VW Boys hat. And you may wonder how come he always fishes in a VW Boys hat. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to get one of my good hats dirty. So that's the reason there. Now we're gonna cast in and see if we can't catch fish number 3. I ain't put a line in the water yet today that I ain't caught one. Now I ain't bragging now, but I threw it in there at the exact same spot. I'm reeling it real easy. There's something on the line right there. Water is so crystal clear, I can see the fish down in there taking the bait. I don't think we're gonna catch one on this cast. That's okay, we just cast again. Yeah, there's a car coming, get out of the road. Hey, buddy. Well, I guess you can turn the camera off now until we catch another fish. Now this right here, that's just a big minnow. Some people call them silver sides, but we caught one anyway. We're not going to count it. We're not going to keep this one. They call these trash fish. They used to take and grind them up for dog food, the country people did. But we won't do that. If the camera wasn't on me, I'd take and throw it in the ditch over there, or else we'll catch it again and again today. But since we're on TV and we're trying to be nice to animals and all that, we'll throw it back in the water. I missed the water. Okay, we got my good friend Nate Thornsbury with us fishing here today. He just caught a little bass here. So, that's the first fish you've caught today. We'll get it off the hook. Right there you go, there's a nice little bass. That's almost a red eye. Red eye and a bass are about the same fish. There's probably some kind of inbreeding going on there because he's got red eyes too. That's a pretty nice fish there, Nate.
Thank you.
We're going to put it in the bucket. You want to get a shot of that? Are you ready? We caught another red eye. That makes 3 red eyes and 1 bass and 1 little minnow there we caught. A little red eye. I think we still got about 10 more minutes left on this program, so we're just going to try to fill it up with some more shots of us fishing. I will show you this right here. I found this piece of metal laying in the grass down there, and I don't really have a use for it, but I'll save it anyway because I may find a use for it at some later date. If we do find a use for this piece of metal, we'll do a show on it for you. That reminds me, if you'd like to see this show on a regular basis, you can write to me, Post Office Box 741, Bluff City, Tennessee 37618, or email me. It's Robby@robbyspencer.com, and be sure you go on my website, robbyspencer.com. Check out all my pictures and things we have on there, and order some of my CDs. And just if you got a question you'd like to ask me, let me know. We'll try to answer it on the air here, or any other thing. If you want to advertise on the program, we'd always welcome that, because I believe this is a good quality program and we could sell your items, only if they're good quality items. If you got a bunch of junk to sell, don't come to me wanting to put it on my show, because we'll charge you double of what we would if we was going to just have somebody with good quality items on it. We won't turn anybody away, but we'll kind of make you pay more to be on the program. But anyway, Robby Spencer, Post Office Box 741, Bluff City, Tennessee, or you can call my office at 423-538. It's 423-538. We're here fishing, and I got my line hung up in a little bush down there on the side of the creek. I can't. There we go. I finally got it loose. I was afraid to have to climb down there because it looks like some poison ivy, and that rock don't look too steady. But anyway, I got it loose, but I lost most of my bait, so we'll have to get some more bait put on it before we do any more fishing today. We're here on the BCMA picking porch. We're on the little picking porch, and I got Teddy helping with me, and we're going to do the music portion of the program now. So here's an old song I learned from one of my uncles, and he was so mean that whenever he would walk down the street, even the sewers would back up. Here it is, wreck of the old 97. Well, they gave him his orders at Monroe, Virginia, saying, Steve, you're way behind time. This is not 38, but it's old 97. You must put her in dispenser on time. Well, he turned and he said to his black, greasy fireman, he said, shovel in a little more coal. And when we cross that White Oak Mountain, you can watch old 97 roll. From Lynchburg to Danville on a line on a 3-mile grade. It was on that grade that he lost his air brakes. Now see what a jump he made. He was going down the grade making 90 miles an hour when his whistle broke into a scream. He was bound in the wreck with his hand on the throttle and was scalded to death by the steam. Well, ladies, you better take fair warning from this time on and learn. Never speak harsh words to your true loving husband. He may leave you and never return. On the music portion of the program today, we're going to do a little song for you called Never Go Around with a Married Woman Unless You Can Go 2 rounds with Her Husband. Ready, Teddy? There's a big holler tree down the road here from me where you lay down $1 or 2. When you go round the bend and then you come back again, there's a jug full of good old Mountain Dew. They call it that old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. Well, I'll hush you up my mug if you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. He is sawed off and short and he measures 4'2". But he thinks he's a giant when you give him a pint of that good old Mountain Dew. They call it that old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush you up my mug if you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. few. And to her surprise, when she had it analyzed, it's nothing but that good old Mountain Dew. They call it that old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush you up, my mug, if you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Now we're just about to the end of the Robby Spencer Fishing Show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now let's take a minute out here and show you what we caught, just to show you that we weren't fooling everybody. They get the other end of this. We got it all tangled up. But anyway, there's a stringer fish we caught. We just fished for about 30 minutes, and that's how much we caught. If we'd fished for a whole hour, we'd have caught every fish in this creek. I do believe it, and I'm telling you the truth on that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 red eyes, and Nate caught this little smallmouth bass here. Of course, I caught the most of them, and Nate only caught one, but that's okay, because we had a good time. And this is the fish we caught on the show today. I want to say thank you for being on the show today, Nate.
Thank you for having me.
I want to say thank you for Josh Bowser for running the camera for us. Now let's take and turn these fish loose. I don't think we're going to eat any of them. That's pretty much it on the show today. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be bringing you some more shows. Remember, if you want to get in touch with me, robbyspencer.com will take you to my email, or you can write me a letter through the regular post office at P.O. Box 741, Bluff City, Tennessee 37618. And I hope to see you again real soon.